guys, welcome to the very first episode of the Appliance Alliance podcast. I am your host with the most equipment, Zach Kreider, owner of Gordon's Appliance Repair in Chicagoland, Illinois. And my co-host for today, the man with a plan. He needs no introduction, but I'm giving him one anyway. He is the administrator and creator of the most successful, in my personal opinion, and that's the only one that matters right now, appliance repair Facebook group, Appliance Apprentices, TK Cousins.
What's going on, everybody? Pleasure to be here. Thank you for setting this up, Zach. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be fun. This should be interesting ramble through, well, both of our ADD minds. So we'll see what happens here. Let's kick this off. What qualifies us to be running an Appliance Alliance podcast, and what is it all about? So tell me about yourself, TK. How long have you been in the business? What is your business? And let us know who you are.
Well, like Zach said, my name's TK Cousins. I'm the administrator of the Appliance Apprentice Group. I'm the owner-operator of two appliance businesses here in Richmond, Virginia. My personal business, the Appliance Guy LLC, and then also a partnership that I started with my best friend, Austin Trice, Richmond Appliance Guys. We originally named it TNA Appliance Repair, but we got some strange comments from customers with that, so we decided to go with Richmond Appliance Guys. Funny little story. When we did TNA, we were thinking about doing our motto or slogan as timely and affordable appliance repair. What did you think it meant? But we decided to not go with that. Too many politically correct people out there. So basically, this whole podcast idea was just, it was kind of born the same way that the Apprentice Group was. Somebody commented on something and said something about a podcast. We were already working on doing interviews and YouTube videos and stuff like that. And Zach and me had already kind of networked and hooked up. So I bounced the idea off him, and here we are.
Yeah. So I introduced myself as the host with the most equipment. I have, as of today, officially owned Gordon's Appliance Repair in Chicagoland for 5 years. It's been 5 interesting years for sure. I've been in the business for 8 years, but my real passion, my real background and training, among other things, is in audio video. I spent most of high school behind the scenes in the tech side of things. And so this is kind of my joy, my passion. I really enjoy this more than anything else. And so being able to help the appliance community, which is something that's very important to me, I'm super excited to be able to do this and to sit down. And our goal is to interview some guests. We want to talk to guys who've been in the business a long time, who maybe have some more experience than us, different experience than us, some new guys that have their own unique perspective, because everyone brings something important to the table. And so we really want to talk with a variety of guys and just help to make the Appliance Alliance podcast much like the Appliance Apprentice Group, where it is a valuable resource for new techs and veteran techs the same. So, yeah, man, this is pretty crazy ride. I've done a podcast before myself, and I just didn't have anyone with the energy to keep up with me. So I look forward to this.
Just so you know, I think it might be my internet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I don't know what happened. Sorry about that.
That's all right, man. That's all right. So tell me how you got started in the appliance business. What brought you into this crazy world?
Well, so I worked for a church for 10 years. It was a local church here in Richmond. The church kind of fell apart a little bit. I was in full-time ministry. I was basically running a home for people with substance abuse issues, drug addicts, homeless people, people that just, had a hard time in life, came there to get help and to, establish a relationship with God. The church kind of fell apart. I actually got fired from the church. So long story short, we won't get into all that. So yeah, so basically I was working for the church, got fired from the church, and started a construction company called Tile and More. And I was doing like kitchen and bathroom remodeling, things like that. And I'd get a lot of appliances. You know, we'd renovate a kitchen or whatever. And even while I was at the church for a long time, for years, I was selling appliances on the side because I wasn't making much money.
Ministry, the place where you make absolutely no money.
I was making like $250 every 2 weeks. So I was selling whatever and I could get my hands on to make money. Appliances, furniture. I had an eBay store. I had an Amazon, fulfilled by Amazon account. So when I started my construction business, it didn't really work out very well. And my buddy Austin, he would come by and help me fix appliances here and there, help me with stuff that I couldn't figure out myself. And then one day he was like, you want to do an apprenticeship with me, ride with me, I'll pay you, basically $100 a day and teach you how to run an appliance business and how to do appliance repair. So I did that for little under a year, rode with him while I was still hustling on the side, selling used appliances, doing whatever to make money, eBay, Amazon. And then eventually I started my own business. My partner today, Austin, he helped me all the way through it, still helps me today. And that's how I got into this.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. We have a very similar background. About 12 years ago, I got into Celebrate Recovery for myself, just codependency issues. I'm a people pleaser, so, I got that going for me. But serving the lost and, the people that just need some help. And I truly believe that no matter what you believe, people come together for a reason. So it's kind of fun that we have we're not the same mind, but we have very similar minds when it comes to things. So that really does kind of lend itself to an interesting symbiotic thing.
For sure.
I don't know where I'm going with that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely some synergy.
So for myself, I've bounced around, man. I've done a lot of things. I'm actually a licensed airframe power plant mechanic by the FAA. I went to college here in the Chicagoland area to Lewis University, and I'm a licensed airframe power plant mechanic. So basically the guys who wrench on your planes, that's what I'm trained in. Until surrendered, suspended, or revoked, I hold a license. And when I got out, it was post 9/11. So there was literally no work in it. I bounced around through construction, bartending, bar backing, ended up in earth mover tires, changing earth mover tires, which is an interesting career. And I still have 10 fingers. So that's kind of a miracle in and of itself. Then I got into the medical supply field, which kind of prepared me to deal with people for the most part. That's a interesting business. If you're not a people person, you'll either become one or you'll flame out real quick. Did that for quite a few years. And then I went into utility locating, which is a dead-end job if I ever found one. And in the midst of being sick and tired of dealing with that, one of my mentors at the church, one of the first guys that had prayed for me when I was off and kind of doing my own thing, owned an appliance repair business. And my dad and I actually prayed about it for about 6 months before I went and talked to him. And one day my dad comes up to me at church. He goes, I don't know why, but you need to go talk to Floyds. So I went and talked to him, and I said, hey, Dad and I have been praying about it. And I knew I needed to come and talk to you. Are you looking for someone? Because I'm tired of what I'm doing. And he goes, you know what? Actually, I am. I got a guy leaving me. And so why don't you come and do a ride along? I did one ride along, and the rest is kind of history. He trained me up and mentored me to run the business, take it over from him. And I feel like I didn't learn enough this past year, 2020. Man, it's been an interesting 5 years, but this last year for sure has tested everything that I'm made of. And like I said, I really enjoy the video side of things. So I could travel the country and do interviews with appliance guys all day long because I can speak the language. But I'm kind of I'm at that season in my life where I'm flamed out on appliances. So it's fun to get energized by other guys like you, TK.
I appreciate it. So let me ask you this, Zach. So you took over the business from this gentleman 4 years ago?
Five as of today, January of 2016. Man, I took over Gordon's Appliance Repair.
That's the same month that I started my business was January 2016. So we are this will be my 6th year as well. We're business birthday partners.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mark it by my daughter's birthday. So we took over the business in January of 2016, and my daughter was born February of 2016. So
nice.
Slept in 5 years.
Nice. Yeah, I know how you feel. How many kids do you have?
Just the one, man. She's a handful. But I'll tell you what, she's smart. She's creative. She's an amazing little kid. From infant stage, she would flip toys over and try and figure out how to take them apart. You know, she was like super curious little kid. And now she's running around with a camera and a little clackboard and going, take 1, take 77. Nice. I'm being like daddy. So yeah, she's cool. She's a very eclectic kid. She goes from princesses to monster cars and power tools. So I love it.
There you go. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great story, man. We definitely have some synergy because we both have similar backgrounds.
For sure. So Appliance Alliance, man, someone just they came up with that name, and we just really love that. And so your heart and your passion has really been to provide resources for new guys and veterans alike. And that's really what this podcast is modeled after. We want to have some guys on. We've talked about having some of the masters that we see running other groups out there. Why don't you tell me about that?
Yeah, that's definitely one of my goals, and something me and Zach have been talking about is getting some of the other appliance group admins on here. Couple that just pop into my head is like Mike Carlson or Steve Morrison, Steve Brett, all 3 people that I look up to. The Brandon Harris over at Appliance Pro Talk. Appliance Pro Talk was the first group that I ever joined. And that's actually where is either Appliance Pro Talk or Appliance Technician Group. One of those was where Appliance Apprentice Group was born, because a constant thing that was in those groups was new guys coming in and asking what other people deemed as stupid questions, which I don't believe there is such thing as a stupid question. I believe that any question is a good question if somebody learns from it. And somebody said, well, or I jumped on a comment thread and I was like, well, why doesn't somebody start a group for brand new guys? And everybody had their things to say about it. And I was like, well, why am I telling other people to start this group? Why don't I just do it? So I started it, and, I'd already had my YouTube thing going, and, and the Appliance Alliance podcast was birthed from that. So it's all very organic, I feel like. And, I'd love to have some of those admins from those other groups on here just to talk about, what they do and what their passion is. I know, like Mike Carlson, he's the master of board repair. That man is a guru of board repair. I have just like the highest level of respect for that. That is super, super cool. Yeah, absolutely. I took his class. I didn't know anything about board repair. And I took his class, and he did a class in North Carolina, and me and my partner drove down there, and he taught us some of the basics and just how to, take out relays, test capacitors with the ESR meter, do things like that. And it's really been a game changer for my business. And it's something that I look forward to implementing as Richmond Appliance Guys grows as well. Nice. Very nice. Yeah, there's just a ton of really cool people. You've also reached out to the guys at
Applianceology, and they've given a bit of a discount for guys in the Appliance Apprentice group to get Applianceology. And from day one, 8 years ago, when I came into this business, Applianceology was the second thing that I got. And I've used it ever since for tech manuals or for just bouncing ideas off of other guys. I spend more time in the Facebook groups bouncing ideas off of guys, but there's still a ton of valuable resources there at Applianceology. So if you haven't checked that out,
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Check that out. And if you sign up, you can use the code Appliance Guy TK. It's a promo code for any MST courses. You get 10% off, I think it is. Anybody's welcome to use that for signing up. It's something that they offered. So shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Samurai and Son of Samurai and the whole Applianceology team. I've been a huge supporter of Applianceology since day one. A lot of guys jump on the group and say, this guy must get paid by Applianceology or whatever. I don't get paid, but I believe that if something is valuable and it can help the community, then do it to support it. So shout out to Applianceology. And if you aren't a member and you keep sending me requests for tech sheets, I'm going to cut you off eventually. Go pay your $200 and quit being cheap.
Exactly. And if you're a business owner, I bought the subscription for my guys. That way that, they can access that resource as well. And we'll, in the comments or in the description below, we'll go ahead and drop a link to that along with the promo code. So if you're part of the group, go ahead and take advantage of that. If you have one of the best pieces of advice that I got early on from my mentor was, you know what, if a tool costs a lot of money, it probably has some value. Have the right tool for the right job. And in the long run, it's going to end up saving you money. And,
absolutely. And Applianceology is a tool. It's not, you're paying for a yearly subscription to a tool that will save you. It pays for itself.
The first 2 times you need it.
Exactly. Just bite the bullet, pay. I'm not exactly sure how much it is anymore, but bite the bullet and pay for it. It is so worth it.
100%. So guys, that's really what the Appliance Alliance podcast is about. We're hoping to talk to other guys. We want to hear your experience. Let us know in the comments what you think, what we did good, what we did bad. We got thick skin. Go ahead. It doesn't matter. The only way we're going to get better is if you give us the feedback we need to get better. So again, I am Zach Kreider, owner of Gordon's Appliance Repair.
And I'm TK Cousins, owner of the Appliance Guy LLC and Richmond Appliance Guys.
And we are signing off on the Appliance Alliance podcast, episode number 1.